What is up, guys? It's your boy Joe the Creator coming back with a new episode, and today we're dropping a new episode na hindi siya podcasting, hindi rin siya vlog, pero interview. So sa vlog na to or podcast, di ko alam kung anong tatawag ko dito eh. Basta yun, sa episode na to, I'm gonna be interviewing Mr. Chris Cardenas, a good friend of mine, Marlowe Soriano, a basketball legend here in Chicago. You know, idol ko to. And for those who doesn't know these two guys, just to give you a little idea of who they are basketball enthusiasts, and then players, and then one of them is a coach, one of them is a commissioner. Magiging napakagandang episode nito. Sana panoorin nyo. And for those people na may mga komento dyan, just comment down below. Kung may mga tanong kayo, kung sino yung gusto nyong ma-interview or ma-podcast, drop it down below. Mag-subscribe na rin kayo since eto na kayo nanonood. So yun na nga, di ko na patatagalin to. Let's go!
Hi everyone, I'm here with Mr. Marlowe Soriano. My name is Chris Cardenas. So we will do a little interview about him, about his background about basketball. Just so you guys know, is for me, my own experience. He's one of the best point guard community in Illinois. So Mr. Marlowe, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Hey Chris, thanks for having me. My name is Marlowe Soriano, longtime Filipino basketball community player, and I run a clothing brand called Lead by Example.
Okay, my first question. Are you ready? So my first question, Marlo, is how old were you when you started playing basketball?
I think the first time I played organized basketball was probably second or third grade. My family was always into basketball, so I was shooting around in the backyard whenever there was a hoop a lot of the time, but organized, it would be PBA, second or third grade, sometime like that.
Yeah. Speaking of PBA Chicago, I was wondering, you were so loyal to them, and you've been with them for years. What was the reason you stayed playing with them?
It's just my family. My family's been in it for a long time. They provided me with the platform to play. And then, I had teammates there for a long time, and we just stayed together. So there was no point in moving other leagues. Again, my family all played PBA, so it was just
Yeah,
easy decision.
very nice. Speaking of teammates, okay, I want you to tell me honestly, who is the best teammate that you ever had based on your experience? Like, if you wanna, do some categories from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 position is up to you. But from your heart, who is the best teammate?
That's a really difficult question because I've had so many teammates, just switching divisions and stuff like that. But I think I just have to go with my kind of original five that I've always played with. It would be Peter Tamendong, my cousin, Antonio Oblina, Andy Hermagino, and then Justin Alvarez. That was kind of my first five growing up. So, yeah. No, some of them fell off and aren't playing anymore. But that was like the original five that kind of really let me enjoy the game and have fun with my brothers. So, and then we've also been through the mud together. We took a lot of L's, but so that's why.
Oh wait, I started playing basketball when I was 8 years old back in the Philippines. So, who influenced me playing this? Honestly, Kobe Bryant, bro, baby, all day. I've been watching him all day, buddy. I've been watching him since I was a kid. So, um, back in 2004, I was playing in high school back in the Philippines as a varsity player. So it helped me in my funds as well because I don't have to pay any education funds back in the day, and my school gave me some little allowance, and it helps me a lot. So we've been doing a lot of basic fundamentals training, and it was a good experience. But unfortunately, 2007 in my game, college game, I broke my left knee, and that was the end of my career. I wasn't really good though. I was just a role player, you know, and all basics, baby, all basic fundamentals, basics, all basics, nothing fancy. But I was a really big part of our team back in the day. You won't believe it because you never seen it, but I'm telling you the truth. That was my experience. And Kobe Bryant inspired me until today. That's why I'm still doing this. I love basketball. I love this game. Even though I don't play anymore, I don't play as good as before. Not good as Marlowe, though. But I would say Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant inspired me until today. So that will be my answer.
My family for sure. I wouldn't play the game if it wasn't for them. I was the youngest, one of the youngest, and just being at their practices, tagging along to their games, kind of introduced me to it. So they're a big influence. I think the definitely the Chicago Bulls, just in the '90s. My uncles had a lot of VHS tapes of their recorded games, and I would literally rewatch them all the time. And then any guards under 6 foot, I guess, would be another big influence because that's just who I can replicate my game by. And even females like WNBA players, they're extremely talented and they replicate my game now. They can't dunk, they can't be in the air. They all have to finesse their way into playing at a high level. So that's who I'm influenced by. It's there's so many damn leagues now. I really can't name them all, but I feel like I've played in all of them. PBA Chicago, obviously, Postal,
Yep.
obviously, um, and now all the newer leagues. RJ's league. I really don't know all the names, but I feel like I've been in them all at least once. I think all leagues kind of have something different to offer, but PBA Open back in the day when I first joined, that was a very fun league. Um, and part of the reason was we joined really early. Those five teammates that I mentioned earlier, we joined that league when we were like 16, and that was when it was still 20 teams at Loyola Park. Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that was my introduction into kind of like the men's open league. Um, but yeah, yeah. I mean, it was competitive because we were 16 playing against grown men. But now, I mean, there's definitely other leagues that are competitive. Each one, the top two or three, four teams are always competitive. Again, back then we were teenagers playing against grown men, so it had to be competitive for us, right? We weren't getting anything easy, but there's a lot of talent nowadays, and I like that the younger players are now entering the leagues also. So yeah, it's still competitive all around.
So when I was playing in a postal, it was really a competitive league back in the day. And honestly, we didn't get any chip though, because it was very hard for me to make a team back in the day. So that's all I say, man. It's pretty competitive. It was a very nice league. Thank you, Mr. Sid Garcia, for running that postal basketball league. We appreciate it a lot. So
Yeah, uh, joining PBA definitely rounded my game and helped me become who I am. Shout out to Mang Ben, RIP Mang Ben, for just giving me the platform um, to play every Sunday and then play across the nation, um, in Canada. But the losses that I took in inner city, the losses that I took to older open teams, in the winter league definitely shaped who I am
Yeah.
and built that hunger to get better. So yeah, I have PBA to thank for most of my skills for sure.
Oh yes, I would like to thank him first for everything because of him, he influenced everyone to get interested in playing basketball, and it's very helpful for our community. You know, being physically active, very good for our health. And Mang Ben, may you rest in peace. And I thank you for everything, for inspiring us, for motivating us to play. And I'm very thankful to you because of you. I know these guys like Marlowe, Dylan Escoto, and some other guys from your league. Mang Ben, once again, thank you so much for everything.
I'm gonna say my team all day. Our open team for, and I don't know years, but um, yeah, we won a couple championships back to back. So,
I've
and
seen it.
I'm a competitive dude, so
Yeah.
I don't like kind of giving the throne to
Yeah.
anybody else. Um, I would say my open team from the past, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, before COVID. But
I agree. You know, one of the best teams, Marlo's team, uh, in his time. Uh, but older days, probably one of the best team too I've seen is Mr. Joe Godango. FIL-AM Nation, shout out to you. Definitely, you have one of the best teams here. Marlo's team. Who else I could think? John Fajardo's team, very competitive too. Obviously, RJ Guloy team. Shout out to you, RJ. So those are the things that I remember. What else I could say? Man, one of the best. That's why I'm here today. Smiles team.
the most competitive person I've played against. Um, I guess this might be a little bit biased, just because in the small leagues that we have here, or but we consistently see John Fajardo's team, yeah, Ryan DeChoso's team. We see them in the final. Like, it's been us in the finals against them the past, I don't know how many years. But competitive wise, I think I can easily say that about a lot of teams. If there was one person, I I really don't know. I feel like everybody's competitive in this league. But
You know, I agree with Mario. It's very hard to specify that. Yeah, it's very hard. You will get some ideas, but it's definitely it's hard to specify. And it's you know what was the hardest? It's hard to remember people right on the spot. Uh, you cannot ask that question to me, sir. I didn't play. I didn't play here in Chicago, but I could make a comment. Who's probably the best player I've seen? Player, not team. Player, obviously Marlu Soriano, Mike Silungan, Jason Barilla, um, Christian Mangio. Is that how you pronounce his last name? Uh, Different positions, man. So it's very hard to tell. Ryan DeSoso, John Fajardo, Anjo Agustin, Dylan Scotto. These are good players.
don't
Um,
forget Andy.
yeah, Andy Hermagino, absolutely. Oh my God, one of the best I've seen. Yes. Uh, Sean Kirby from Bataso. Yeah, a lot of players. It's hard for me to remember. If I don't mention your name, guys, I'm sorry. But a lot of good players here in our community. Absolutely a lot. We probably have not seen everyone because who knows who's the new player out there. But the OGs, oh my God, a lot, and it's hard to remember on the spot. But those are the names that I could think about, and Argers League, who plays for Argers League, probably I would say I could mention some of his good players like what's his name? Shoot, Jeff Jeff Asejo. Uh, who else? Greg is pretty good too. Greg Liwanag, but it's very hard to specify good players. Some of them are just good, some of them are just really whale good, like this guy. So, and they play in different positions, so we can never compare. But I could say that those are the names that I remember. Who's really very impressive to me. Uh, that kid, the new tall kid, his name is Aston Sanders. Is pretty good too. He's getting better too. He's very good. So yeah, that's all I say, Joe.
I didn't try out for PBA, but there was a time when we went over to the Philippines with Swiftback and Ed Regacho. So thank you, Ed Regacho, for that opportunity. But essentially, we flew over there and we played against a bunch of college teams in a little span of 2 weeks. And then those college coaches got to kind of choose who they wanted from our team. That was a great experience. I always say if I could do that again, I think I would have got picked. Unfortunately, I didn't get picked, but um, I just didn't know how to train at that time. I didn't know how to train for that. I didn't know what to expect. So the answer is yes. I did try out over there, I guess, but I didn't make it.
I didn't get a chance because, like I said earlier, I broke my left knee and my confidence. I lost everything. My mental health, my self confidence, physical. Oh my god, it was devastating, man. Uh, what happened was I was making a layoff because back in the day, I didn't. I was very. I didn't care. Like I would just jump in. I was very. I'm not doing that's supposed to do. Like I have to be careful. I was really careless. So when I was finishing that layup, I always try to be above the rim as possible. And this guy in front of me made this kind of movement. He kind of ducked in front of me,
Mhm.
and I lost my balance. Then my knee hit directly to the floor, and I couldn't get up. I tried to get up, I couldn't get up. So they had to get the ambulance, bringing me all the way from Bulacan to Makati Med. Like took me like freaking 2 hours to get there, I believe. And from that day, my life was messed up. I was so down, man. Like it was really like kind of one of my downside that I don't want to remember anymore. I had to hire physical therapy at home. I had to hire even a caregiver. I hate to tell you, 17-year-old, I had a caregiver to take care of me, and a private nurse. It was devastating, man. It was a horrible experience, honestly. So, and then I hate to tell you this, but I'm gonna admit it right now that I said to myself, I'm not gonna play this bullshit anymore because from what happened to me, I hate, but I'm just being honest. And I ate what I said. I said I couldn't hold this anymore. I'm gonna try to be back in the game, and it just didn't work for me. But my love for basketball is still here until today. That's why I'm doing this. Um, Actually, I have a question to you, Mr. Marlowe.
Mhm.
Uh, how do you keep like being good about everything? Your basic fundamentals is there. You're still shifty. You're still able to compete with these young people. Like, huh? What was your secret? Could you tell me?
I think it's just a love for the game. I'm coaching too and training some kids, so I got to be hip to the game and the style that they're playing now. So I still watch the game and I um, still look at new moves, but really in terms of staying in shape and stuff, that's my preferred method of exercise. I would rather play basketball or work out by myself on the court than run outside or even lift weights. Like that's my preferred method. So, um, just practicing the moves that know I do in a game over and over. That's what I do.
Okay. How about how did you start the lead by example apparel? Like, how did you get those ideas? What was the motivation behind it? Could you tell me about it?
Sure. So lead by example. It was kind of a mantra I had. Like I said, I've been playing PBA since second or third grade, and I kind of um, fell into a leadership role with all my teams. And as I got older, I was still the smallest person on the court. Even now, still the smallest person on the court. But if I'm gonna ask some of my teammates to do something or a big guy to box out, I need to do it myself. Or if we're training for inner city or a big tournament, if I want them to compete at a high level and make sure they're in the gym, I better be in the gym myself. So I was, in terms of leadership, I was always trying to lead by example and just whatever I want of them or ask of them, I want to be able to do myself so that I can say I walk the walk before I ask them to do something and not be hypocritical. So that's where it came from, and I just decided to slap it on a shirt because it's extremely motivating to myself, and hopefully others can resonate with that.
It is very impressive, Marlo. Honestly, it's one of the best names I've seen. You know, lead by example, very inspirational. Uh, you gonna motivate yourself to be a lead these people. You know, you could use it in so many things. You
Hmm.
know, basketball camp, even at your work. You know, lead by example. So very very meaningful, Marlo.
That's a great question. I think there's everybody wants to be a trainer now, um, but I don't think everybody can do it. I think people who are even ex pros or college people or people who play college, they think that they can just be a trainer just because of their background. But unfortunately, that's not the right, or that doesn't work. I think training is also teaching, and if you don't know how to communicate with a kid to to get a move, then you're really not training them, or they're really not understanding what you're trying to teach them. So, yeah, to answer your question, no, everybody cannot be a trainer.
I agree with Marlo. You know, it's not for everyone because I've seen good players that they can't even coach a team. You know, and I've seen players that not really good on the floor playing basketball, but they're very good coaches, good team leaders. So you know, it really depends on the person. That's what I would say, and I agree with him.
Again, I think a little bit of my background as a teacher helps me. A PE teacher helps me because I can communicate the skills to a kid, or really teach it to them. Um, but yeah, 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 and then
Physical education. You know, I will give you an example, Joe. GOAT. We're talking about Michael Jordan. He admit himself that he cannot coach. He doesn't want to coach. But look at he's way better than Steve Kerr. But Steve Kerr is a good leader, good coach. Don't put it in the ano, don't put it in there. I'm just trying to explain to you what I understand, di ba? Yeah. It's not for everyone. I've seen this guy. I'm not gonna mention his name. He's very good player as a player, but he cannot even run a team. He can't even lead a team. So same as training the kids.
I mean, of course, it's a disadvantage. You're a lot smaller, but it just helped me learn the game better because being that tall, you have to you have to counter people's height with your IQ or your speed, right? So, um, it is a disadvantage, but you take the disadvantage and you figure out how to make it an advantage with the with the speed or
You have to find a way yourself.
yeah. I would say just do it. Just jump in, but also you have to understand your body. You're not going to play every day starting today. So maybe start once a week, you know, start with the fundamentals once a week, start getting back in shape and running up and down. But you're not going to play a 5-on-5 game right
Yeah.
now. There's no way you're going to get injured.
Yeah.
So it has to be a build up. Um, again, once a week for a month, then go twice a week maybe. I don't know the actual formula, but that would be my advice. Take it slow, jump back in, and just find the love for the game and figure out why you're jumping back in the first place. Everybody does, and with the leagues now, there's a bunch of leagues that kind of cater to
Yeah.
different skill
Different level.
levels,
Yep.
right? So yeah, anybody can still play. I'm sure there's a lot of OGs who really enjoy the game, and again, thankful for all those leagues that give these guys an opportunity. But anybody could be good. You just have to find the time to put in the work for it.
There's always a room, someone. You could just start slow, start somewhere. Yep.
I enjoyed that tournament because that was the first time I was able to play after COVID. That was like the first time my wife
Five series.
let me out and play a tournament with a mask.
Yeah.
One thing I really enjoyed about that tournament was there was only two teams, but we had to play each other, kind of like in a series.
Best of 5. Yeah.
Yeah, so you had to. There was a lot of strategy involved. I forgot how many times they beat us. They beat us once, maybe twice.
Oh, I believe it was.
Was it 2-2? And then we beat them in the
Yes.
finals.
Yes.
So
Yes. There you go.
again, there was that back and forth of
Mm.
winning and losing, and you kind of had to make your adjustments. So I really enjoyed that and that was all like the same day or 2 days,
Yeah.
2 days. So yeah, that was competitive, and I enjoyed it. I'm all for it. I want all the smoke. I want all the smoke.
There
Come
you
on,
go.
bring it on.
There you go.
Bring it on. But again, like I said, basketball is my choice of exercise,
Yeah.
and it's tournaments like these that you're suggesting to put on. It's tournaments like these that kind of get you hyped and get you um, ready to play. Like these are the things that kind of motivate me to stay on the court and train. Right? I'm not in the PBA. I'm not um, playing college basketball, but these tournaments are kind of what I still have to kind of live for and play at a high level. So yeah, come on, I'm ready.
Let's go. Thank you so much, Marlo. New York. I spoke to you, Mr. Nico Meneses. I know you're one of the best point guard there in New York. I'm sitting here with Marlo Soriano. He's one of I'm really proudly say to you that he's one of my best point guard here in FIL-AM community in Illinois. He's one of the best I've seen. So we're looking forward to see you guys. It's gonna be a competitive league, and one of these days I'm gonna reach out to you. Yes, absolutely. Mr. John Mangaliman from Texas. We spoke last week about this tournament, so I'm sitting with one of your idols. So he speaks highly of you, Marlo. Because he's seen you before back in 2021. It was like, oh my god, that dude was crazy, very shifty. A lot of compliments, man. They were very surprised about your performance. So you're gonna see him soon. So I'm looking forward to see you, Mr. John Mangaliman. Also, Randolph Soriano from Ohio. We spoke earlier, sometime couple weeks ago. So I'm looking forward to see you too. Bring your best team as possible.
Thanks for having me on this podcast. I definitely looking forward to that tournament and just looking to compete at a high level. In terms of lead by example, I mean you can check out our Instagram page at You Lead by Example YOU, and then Lead by Example. Our website's on there. We're looking to drop some more tees and some shorts coming this summer. So if you have any youth, 5 to 18, so babies all the way to high school, we train. The program is called Triumph Hoops Academy. Again, you can find us on Instagram, Triumph_Hoops Academy, and we're for all levels, beginner, advanced, but we have sessions Sunday and then all throughout the week. So just reach out, DM, and yeah, we'll get you right.
Marlo, I would like to thank you for giving us a time. Just so you know, I really appreciate it. I'm very grateful about this opportunity that you gave us. Thank you so much. Guys, please don't forget, visit Lead by Example Instagram. He owns that brand and it's very inspiring, very motivational. And like I said, if you say Lead by Example, you know what it's mean. So Mr. Marlowe, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it a lot.